name is Izzy. I am a travel therapy recruiter. I am also the spouse of a travel physical therapist, and I'm here to give you the tea on travel therapy. I want to talk about duplicating living expenses specifically because, yes, travel therapy can be extremely lucrative, but what makes it lucrative is being able to duplicate living expenses. And the reason why is because the IRS doesn't want people to be homeless. This means they want you to have a tax home. They want you to maintain that tax home. This tax home is supposed to serve as your home base, essentially. So in between assignments, or if your contract gets canceled, they want to know that you have somewhere to go back to. So they are willing to supplement you also needing housing for your assignment and pay you these tax-free stipends to help pay for that housing and to be able to feed yourself while also keeping your tax home. So what that means is you have to be duplicating living expenses, and you have to be able to prove that if the IRS were to ever audit you. This means when you're making these payments, they need to be done in a digital way or have paper receipts, whether it's a personal check, money order, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, any of those. You just want to make sure you have a receipt. If you are paying cash, again, you want to make sure you have a receipt. Have your landlord write a receipt for you. That way you can cover your ass, essentially. So basically, your tax home. So by definition, a tax home is the address, the location, where you earn the majority of your income in a calendar year. This could be your childhood home. Maybe your parents still live there. And that's where you were living while you were working a permanent position before getting into travel therapy. Maybe you're renting on your own. Maybe you have a mortgage because you own your home. Whatever it is, you still need to maintain that tax home and still have an address to go back to, like I said, in between assignments if your contract gets canceled. So you also need to make sure you're contributing towards housing for your assignment too. Now, what you title the transaction is important too. Unless you are actually renting or you have a mortgage, let's say you are using your parents' address as your tax home or another family member's or friends, you need to make sure you're titling the transaction as shared living expenses. The reason why is because if you call it rent, technically the person receiving that money is receiving passive income and they would have to pay taxes on that. So calling it shared living expenses is a way to say, okay, I'm contributing towards utilities, property taxes, I'm contributing towards the upkeep of the property. And so no taxes would have to be paid on that money. Now, the amount of money that you want to send, technically, what you would want to do is look at what the fair market rent for the number of bedrooms in that house. If it's a 4-bedroom home, look at the zip code or that town or that county, what the fair market rent is for a 4-bedroom home there. And then you divide that by 4, you get what you would owe for 1 bedroom in that house, to rent 1 bedroom in the house. So make sure you're duplicating living expenses. Try to call the transaction shared living expenses instead of rent. You want to make sure you have a paper trail or a digital trail just in case the IRS comes knocking on your door. You can say, y'all need to back up because I got proof. That's how you cover your ass. That's how you receive the tax-free travel stipends legally. So that's duplicating living expenses. That's the tea on travel therapy. Let me know if there's anything else that you need transparency on when it comes to travel therapy.